What's up, guys? Unfortunately, today we're going to be taking the 2414s and 33s off of hot sauce, and for two good reasons. The first of which, this truck only has a 3-inch leveling kit, and so parking lots, drive-throughs, tight turns, they're an absolute nightmare, and it's pretty freaking embarrassing to have to make a multi-point turn just to get into a parking spot or a gas pump. Now, reason number two, and the most important one, is we just got gravel down at the shop, and Jake scraped the driveway, so everything's loose, and these tires are terrible about picking up rocks. So this being my main daily, every single morning I have to stop at the end of the driveway and pick, I don't know, 3 to 5 rocks out of each tire. And then if I don't pull the truck forward and get the rocks out that are stuck up underneath, they immediately sling down the side of the truck. And so I'm kind of just freaking over it. Now, I've definitely enjoyed this setup on the truck this past month that I've had it on there. And I'm really hoping we don't downgrade the look as this video goes, because it's super hard to go from such an aggressive wheel and tire setup to one that's possibly not as aggressive. But I've also been debating on doing a couple performance mods to this truck, and so if you've ever picked up a 2414, you know the best way to gain some performance is to take those suckers off. I think it's just going to work better for the whole street truck kind of vibe that we're going for, but this setup will definitely be missed. But with all that yapping out of the way, let's go grab the new setup and check it out real quick. Now, some of y'all might recognize the new setup because we've had these stashed away for quite a while, but I figured we'd go ahead and use them, and I honestly think they're going to end up looking really good on this truck. So saying goodbye to the 2414 Fuels and hello to the 24x12 American Forces. Now, I've never really been a directional wheel fan, but I guess I really can't say that anymore because we've had these wheels for like, what, 2 to 3 years at this point. I'm not quite sure why I've not traded or sold them. 24x12 American Force, I don't know what's 33 1250 24 Hyeta ATs. I think absolutely despise these tires. They just look horrible to me. I guess now I'm going to do the slightly sad, slightly exciting part of taking the 2414s off and putting on the 24x12s. All right, guys, well, here she is on the 24x12 American Forces and 33 Hyetas. And honestly, I like it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Definitely not as aggressive as the 14 wides, probably mainly based off of the tires. But I really like it, and we obviously have a ton more turning. It does rub, full lock on the backside, totally clears up front, which I'll show y'all real quick. Full clearance up front, doesn't get into the bumper, the valance, or the fender liner. Rubs right at that bolt, which is not a big deal. This is literally full lock. If you can't drive with slightly less than full lock, are you really a truck guy? I don't freaking know. Debating on, do we swap the freaking tires? We're going to, but I'm hoping I don't regret it because this does look pretty freaking aggressive. Anyways, there she is. I think it looks really good. Maybe not quite as good as the 14 wides, not nearly as aggressive, but in its own way, I think it looks kind of just as good. They look really freaking sweet on here. So anyways, there she is. Let's get back to the house, pick up our tires, and go get them mounted. Well, if y'all thought we downgraded going from the 14 wides to the 12 wides, let me go ahead and correct that real quick. Bam. Oh my gosh. That's freaking terrible. So we are currently on the Trail Boss stocks, of course, because we had to take the Forces off to put our new tires on, which, what are they? Dun, 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 dun. Giovanna's, which I'm going to call them Giovanni's because that sounds a lot better. But this is kind of your basic white girl tire right here. Everybody freaking runs them, and for good reason. They're relatively inexpensive. They look good. They do good burnouts, and they're just a good freaking street tire. And I'm pretty excited because I've never ran these. They kind of give the same OG Nitto 420 or Toyo Proxy kind of vibe, which looks really good. This is kind of like the 420V cut right there, and then directional, which is cool. There is your size difference, which obviously is not on a wheel yet, but I went with 295 35 24. A lot of people will run 305s on a 14 wide, but this being a 12 wide, it's going to be about the same. probably not as much stretch. So it should be pretty squared off, I'm thinking. Either way, it's a glorious street setup. We won't pick up any rocks, and if it doesn't look good on here, we've got several trucks that will be able to run this setup because it's not overly big or wide. Anyways, to Chico's we go. All right, boys, we just re-upped on Monsties. We've got our tires and wheels, and they look freaking good. Now, there is one quirk about these tires with proper directional, or maybe even any directional, I don't know. Either way, they turned out about perfect. Just a tiny little bit of stretch. I'm freaking hyped. Wind's blowing approximately 50 miles an hour, so I'm gonna try to shield y'all from the noise, but I do apologize if it's bad. But what do y'all freaking think of the new streets on the 24x12s? Personally, I'm absolutely loving it. I think it looks really freaking good. It drives great, does smoky burnouts, and just overall, I think it's awesome. Really like these wheels on the truck. It's bizarrely quiet now. I'm so used to mud tires that I've caught myself speeding quite a lot because, you know, like unknowingly, mentally, you're like aware of how fast you're going on mud tires because you're so used to the noise. And now we have just exhaust and wind noise, which is weird, kind of cool, kind of sad. Also, you might notice our little quirk. Lines are going backwards on this side, but forward on this side. That's how you have to freaking run them, unless this manufacturer made a opposite mold. Then you could, but if you flip this around to where those are going back, then the lines on the outside, it's just as goofy as it, I guess, kind of is now, but that's how everybody runs them. And I think the 295 35s were perfect on these 12 wides. It's about as squared off as you could ask. Looks super good. Truck drives great with them. And just overall, I am tickled. It's definitely got the street truck vibe that I was going for, so I think it's time for a couple performance mods on her. Another perk about getting off the 14 wides, we ain't got to go in the bank no more. We actually fit through the drive-through without absolutely obliterating our wheels. Y'all hear that thing chopping? That's a Cam New Body Trail Boss. He said the engine went out, so he got it rebuilt. And it's back there loping, bro. That's a cool truck. Two-tone, silver black, look like maybe some 2412s and some Glads on there. A little cold start action for y'all this morning. I'm telling y'all right now, it is so nice driving down the driveway over all this loose gravel, and we ain't picking up not one rock. Not sure who's been painting the streets of Mexico out here, but whoever it was, they're laying some pretty good limbs down, not gonna lie. All right, guys, well, the wind's blowing 100 miles an hour again, but we got to end the video off, so definitely drop a comment and let me know what y'all think about the new street setup on the 24x12 American Forces. Personally, I am absolutely loving it. I think it looks great. It drives great. Overall, really good experience. First time on these tires, and we haven't ran a setup like this since the black Duramax, which I didn't get to enjoy that much, and we went with what we could afford at the time, which was 2212s, and it just wasn't right. You got to go up to the 24s, in my opinion, for that proper look. And I'm tickled with it. But there it is. Hope you enjoyed. Drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, ring that bell notification. I'll see y'all boys in the next one.